Hello and welcome from Australia. My name is Chrissy, and in this video I'm going to be giving you a prediction reading for the date of the 1st of February. Now I come on every few days and I try to do a sort of update of the energies that are currently going on around the globe, just to help anyone who's wanting some advice or wanting to get through some situations that might be a little bit tricky. So I'm just going to close my eyes. I just let my guides come through to you. So if you've tapped on this video, stay watching because there's a high chance that there's a message in here for you to receive. So I'm just going to close my eyes and we'll just get started. Now they're giving me the Navy. So I get a lot of energy around the effects that these things are having on the Navy. I'm particularly getting the Navy SEALs. So I feel like people who are Navy divers who go down to the depths and investigate things, or people who are in submarines. I feel like people who sort of go beneath the surface are being very affected by the, I feel it's like in reaction to the jab. So it could be about the blood clots, the thrombosis. We know that it's affected a few pilots and things because of the altitude, but I also feel like the depths are also starting, when you go deep sea diving, they say that you always have to like decompress and this kind of thing, and that's about your sort of blood levels and the oxygen and things like that. So I'm definitely getting a message that in the next few months we might be hearing about how the Navy has been quite impacted, particularly around the mandates, and I really feel like they're going to fight back and they're going to push hard to stop the mandates from being implemented within that kind of industry. I'm not sure about the others, but I'm definitely getting a lot around the Navy. Cameras are becoming like the new norm. I feel like nearly our whole communities are going to start being blanketed with cameras. I know we're kind of all being watched now, but I feel like the cameras are going to be a way of tracking. I believe they're going to make out there's like this security system and it's about keeping everybody safe. But I honestly believe it's about tracking people and having that access to people's homes, having that vision of what's going on in this sort of neighborhood. And sometimes it is through that vision, and you can kind of do that anyway on Google Earth, but it doesn't give you that look into someone's daily life and who comes and goes from that house. And I feel like this is going to be their form of spying, that there is going to be a lot more cameras that are going to be put up this year, just in our basic streets. It's not even going to be hidden. I feel like it's going to become the norm that we'll see as we see street lights. There's going to be cameras starting to be put up everywhere, and they're going to actually put out that that's for our sort of protection and it's to keep people safe, and I don't think it is. I actually feel like they're going to be really implementing this on a grand scale, and I feel like it's going to be so that they can actually spy. And I don't mean it's all like negative, but I think it's kind of a little invasive when you've got cameras watching who comes and goes from your house and they're watching people's movements. I mean, that's something that you would expect to happen if someone was under investigation, for sure. But I think when this is becoming like a normal thing, they can tell a lot by people's patternings, and they can sort of look into areas and change things about that area if they think certain... they can make a lot of judgment calls is probably what I'm saying. So I think the cameras are going to start to be popping up everywhere, and it is going to become more like a surveillance. Like, they're going to be literally doing surveillance on certain suburbs. And it's not that they're doing detective work. This is about studying people and studying areas and working things out and directing what's needed in this suburb, but that suburb might not need that. So I feel like it's a lot of this planning. They're using the surveillance to do a lot of planning. That's what I'm feeling in 2022. These cameras are going to start popping up, and they won't even be hidden. And people will think it's normal. They'll think, oh, that's good, they're trying to keep us safe. But I don't think that's what they're doing it for. They're trying to do surveillance. And this will all come back to money, because they're going to start to look at things like, well, where's going to be the best spot to put the next shopping centre, or where will we put this big sports arena, you know, these people in this area are very active. Well, let's put that big sports arena. I'm going to make lots of money out of that if these people come and use it. I feel like this surveillance is going to be coming back to where the money's going to get poured. That's something I'm really seeing to do with the cameras. I'm really seeing that the eligibility for home loans is going to get a lot tougher. Once upon a time, you could just have your sort of 20% and you could get your home loan, but I feel like the banks are going to start to make this harder. People are going to have to sacrifice a few things. I feel like people are going to have to sacrifice where they're living, how much traveling they're going to do to work. They're going to have to sacrifice a lot of things. People aren't going to be able to afford, I don't think, to live exactly where they want to live. They're going to have to be more flexible is probably what I'm saying, because the banks are going to make it a lot harder to get a home loan. The eligibility criteria is going to be a lot harder. And this is why they talk about the credit scoring, because you've got to be able to prove that your credit is going to be very, very good. And that's why everything, I feel, is they're starting to get rid of the money now and everything's just going to be online. So they can just straight out bang, look up my name, for example, and all my credit's going to come up, what I've got in this account, what I've got in that account. There it will be just no privacy at all. This is all going to be just out on the table. If we become a cashless society, that's certainly where we're headed. So I feel like the eligibility for, it could be car loans as well, but I think it's mostly for home loans, is going to become a lot stricter. And people will have to look at other avenues that they can afford with, because they're going to want higher deposits. They're going to want more collateral. I really feel like this is what's going to happen. The banks are going to absolutely want to know that if you forego on that loan, that they're still going to make decent money out of it and they're still going to get ahead. So it all comes back to money and profit. So you've also got to be very smart when it comes to purchasing property or any sort of vehicles. You've got to really put your thoughts on what's going to be the best thing moving forward for you, because you've also got to be aware that these people are trying to make money out of you and they're going to push and do whatever they can. But you can push back as well. You don't have to just take that just because they're dictating that to you. You can always stand up for your own rights as well. So they're things to kind of be aware of moving into 2022. That eligibility for home loans is going to become a lot tougher. And sadly, they just keep showing me that the greed is overtaking. So I feel like the greed is just getting bigger and bigger. They're showing me like this mound of money, and it's all notes, and it's just all spilling down. And the greed, the pile of greed, and the people who are making huge money, the pile is just getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And this is what they've kind of created, and I think we can see that clearly, is they've created that middle class and lower class are now in their own kind of division, and the elite are kind of right up here. And there's a really clear separation now. Middle class kind of kept the balance right, but now there's like this. I feel like there's elite and there's middle class and lower class. And that's something I really see happening in 2022 moving forward, is that it's all going to become the same category down here, the middle class and the lower class. It's going to be all one. They're all going to even out, and the elite will still keep building that pile of money. That's something I'm definitely seeing. And it's just a very, very unfair ratio. I'm definitely getting that in 2022. The elites are still going to be making massive, huge profits off middle income and low income earners, unfortunately. Now they keep showing me like karate. They're showing me somebody who's kicking in karate, someone who's powerful, someone who's strong, someone who can't be knocked over. They've got a really good stance and they're very stable. And this represents yourself. So you've got to remain very stable. You've got to remain very smart. When you're doing something like karate or any of these sort of martial arts, I guess you could say, you have to actually have very good focus. You have to have a very clear mind. You have to be in the now, and you have to also have that strong and stable stance. So this is kind of the message, like moving forward in this year. You have to remain very stable, but you have to be very smart and clever and very centered in your thinking. And that's how you'll get through it. That's what they're kind of showing me, that energy, because whenever you think of most of these martial arts, it's usually about discipline, it's about understanding the mind, and it's also about defense. So it's about defending yourself, and here we are in this big crisis and time of sort of madness and chaos. It's very important to be able to defend yourself. Attacking people is no good, and that's what they're showing me, and that's what it is about any sort of karate or any of these things. You just defend. It's usually about defense. So you're kind of defending things off, and that's what we've got to be like. We've got to defend things off in this coming year. There's no point attacking people, attacking this and attacking that, and people are losing, their anger on the wrong people, and everyone's getting crazy and out of control. You've got to just find your balance, find your center place, and remain very stable. And that is the message about relating to the martial arts. Even Tai Chi, it's got a beautiful calming energy. A lot of people I know in Japan and the Asian countries do a lot of Tai Chi, and that's about finding that beautiful harmony and balance in your life. So look, these are the messages coming through for 2022. Focus on some of these things, and hopefully that will help us get through. Please subscribe to my channel. I love hearing from you guys. Make comments below. I love hearing where you're from and what you're going through. Hit those like buttons, because we can keep these messages going around. It's important that we all keep communicating and getting our messages out and our truths and what we believe in. And I will see you in that next video. Take care. Bye.